Hey everyone, and welcome back to another lesson in our course for HVAC for electrical engineering. So in this lesson, or in the previous one, we discussed the DX system. And this particular one, we would like to investigate the chiller water system. So the chiller water system is used in applications that require significant cooling capacity, not small capacity like the one which we have used in the DX or the central split units. I'm not talking about this, I'm talking about the one that requires significant cooling. Like for example, if we have a hypermarket, if we have industrial processes, if we have commercial air conditioning like offices, factories, all of these. So when we have a large building and I would like to cool it down, it is not economically good to use the split units. So what do we do in the chiller water system? So the chiller water system operates on the same exact principle like the air conditioning system. However, this time instead of running refrigerant lines, we provide running water pipes. So what I exactly mean by this? So we will have a large unit, like a chiller here on the roof of the building. This one contains the components that we need, as we will see right now. But you have to understand that this chiller here, which you see in this figure, operates only in summer. This is pretty important. Why? Because chiller provides cold water to the building. Now, this cold water is used to cool the rooms inside the building itself. That's why it works only in summer. In winter, the chiller is not in operation. So let's see what I exactly mean, or what happens exactly in the chiller. So the first step is that, as before, remember that we have two units. We have the external unit, which is outside with its fan. If you remember, the one which is outside with the fan, which we have compressor. First we have the compressor that compresses the refrigerant like Freon, and it provides this compressed Freon to the condenser, which cools it down by dissipating this heat using the fan, exactly similar as the DX system. Then we will have this lower temperature, high pressure Freon or any refrigerant, and then we provide it into an expansion valve like this, which will expand it, and we will have cool refrigerant like the Freon. So that's the first step, that we have our refrigerant or Freon, for example, and then we enter it into the compressor that will provide it, and then we condensate it, cool it down. Forget about this, we will talk about how we cool it down later. And then we provide it to expansion valve to have a cold refrigerant or cold Freon, for example. And then what happens? If you remember exactly, when we had our split unit, we had it like this inside indoor unit, or the split indoor unit. The part which is indoor, we said that this one is our evaporator. And we said that we have tubes like this, goes like this, and it contains this cold Freon. And then we have here a fan that drags or pulls the warm air inside our room, and then provide it with a cold air in the end. Now, instead of doing this, what are we gonna do is that this evaporator here, which you can see here, is that it will exchange its cold or the heat from water. What I mean by this is that I'm gonna provide it with warm water like this, normal temperature water, and then we have here our cold Freon, and they will exchange the heat. So this heat energy from the water will go to our Freon. So when we have an entering warm water, we will have outgoing cold water. So outgoing cold water. Great. Now this cold water, we are gonna use it to cool our building. Now how are we gonna do this? We will see right now. But for now the cycle will be complete, and the hot Freon will get back to the compressor, and then the cycle repeats itself. So instead of exchanging the evaporator, instead of exchanging it, the heat takes from warm air and provide it with cold air inside like the DX system. The evaporator here is exchanging with a hot warm water, and then we have cold water which will go through pipes inside our building. Now let's see this in animations like this. You will see we have our chiller here. Now this chiller will have a warm water entering to it, and then we will have a heat exchange with it using an evaporator inside the chiller unit, and then we will have cold water that goes all the way down, as you can see here, goes all the way down like this, and supplied to different units. These units is called the air handling unit or fan coil unit. Now what you are asking, what are these exactly? These are exactly like the evaporator inside our indoor unit. Now what happens is that inside the evaporator, this evaporator will take, let's say like this, and let's say like this. So this evaporator will have an entering like this to this evaporator, this unit. As you can see here, we will have cold water entering. Now inside the air handling unit or fan coil unit, we have a fan that takes warm air from our room like this, takes the warm air like this, and then this warm air will exchange heat with the cold water. So all of the heat energy inside this warm air will go to this cold water, and then this, after it cools down, it will go outside like this as a cold air to our room. So as you can see, it is exactly an evaporator, but this time instead of changing with the Freon, we are changing with this cold water. And then after taking the heat energy from all of this hot air, we will have a warm water going outside, which will get back to our chiller. As you can see here, let me zoom in like this, magnify, go here. As you can see here, we have our cold water goes down like this inside the air handling unit or fan coil unit. They are exactly the same, except that the air handling unit is used for more than one room or one floor. Fan coil unit is usually used for just one room. So as you can see, it enters cold water, and then we have two diffusers here, or two grills. One which will take warm air from the room and then exchange it with this cold water, and then we provide cold air to the room. And then when the water becomes warm, it gets back and goes all the way back to our chiller. Now this chiller, of course, as you can see here, we have bombs. Okay, as you can see, we have a bomb here and another bomb here. All of these pumps are used to push this water to our floors and take this warm water from these floors and get it back to the chiller. Okay, so let's look at the types of chillers. Okay, so we have two main types. Now you may ask me, what is the classification based on? The classification is based on how this condensator works. Now you may ask me, what do you even mean? So we have here a compressor that provides hot compressed freon or refrigerant, right? Refrigerant. So what we are gonna do is that when we provide it to this condensator, we would like to cool it down to reduce its temperature. Now if you remember, in the outdoor unit in the DX system, we used a fan that will give heat energy to the outside. This type is called the air cooling method. However, there is another way that we can use water to cool it down.